going live. They've already done. It is Snake Water. It is the CappingTV Summer Brawl 2021. And we see Enrith get there a little bit earlier than Deft. He's got a sticky across, but no damage. Deft hitting a sticky directly onto Enrith and cleaning up Paulson as well, giving him just a little bit of damage, which has given his team quite a lot of room to maneuver on this mid. Riot goes in for a big fat bomb onto Deft, though. He's done a lot of damage, but hasn't quite secured the frag. Deft and Krolic are getting 2 frag, 1 each. And we do see a Lex go down as well. The players are looking pretty even, but Lau dying here is going to probably spell the end for the fellas. And I think that just off that, 5-ping Rockets has kind of pumped this mid directly.
Yeah, definitely a nice little end frag there from Rocky onto, from Silverdox onto Rocky, which is going to slow down their push at least a little bit. But yeah, at the start of that mid, it was looking pretty rough, I'd say, for 5-ping Rockets, because they didn't really have super good player advantage, but you know, they just controlled the positioning really well and ended up, you know, securing their mid fight for themselves.
Yeah, they really did a number on the players there. They took that ground really early and just held it. We do see Riot ready here for a bomb on the grass. He jumps in a little bit early and does get cleaned up. He did a lot of damage to Deft, but not quite enough. Paulson went in for a quick jump and he managed to get out as well. We do see Enrith cleaning up Fane with a trap, which is pretty clean. Silver getting a frag on Lex behind. It looks like they're going to go try to backcap, drag some of these players back. I've lied. Silver's actually coming in behind. That's not the spot where you want to be. The Uber does get forced. They come straight through. They clean up Enrith. They are coming directly into the last. They've done quite a lot of damage to Lau. Second is being recapped, but Deft goes back and cleans up 2 players. The fight's still happening on the last. Lau and Riot have actually managed to hold this one off. Lau getting a frag himself and surfing a clean rocket away, managing to survive. He's left on his own though. Lex is real close. He manages to get in, and that's going to be it. Lau going down, but the push has been aborted.
Beautiful flank play there from Soirée, just to completely prevent any kind of momentum that they had with that Uber advantage. And then really, really good cleanup following from 5-ping Rockets to make sure that Lau dies, ensuring an Uber advantage for themselves going into this next fight.
Oh, sorry. I just banged my knee on the desk and I had to hold my microphone off it. We do see that the fellas are actually getting a bit of room here into the lobby, but I think they're backing up knowing that they're on a massive diss ad here. So we'll have to see how they want to play this this ad. I would imagine they'd probably want to take it straight in, right?
Yeah, most likely, similar to last time. These guys seem to like moving very fast, trying to keep that momentum up. That's what we saw from them yesterday as well, so I'd be surprised if they last any time before using it, and here we go.
Yeah, Deft coming through, getting quite a lot of this Uber. They do clean up Riot with Rocky getting in there nice and early. A trap goes off, killing Rocky. We do see another player go down as well. It was looking like a really good defense, but they didn't really play the point that well, and they've lost the round.
Yeah, there was a beautiful bomb there from Deft right into the enemy team as they were trying to sort of bunch around that spawn door, stopping them from really focusing too hard on the point, as they had a demo man right in their face, slinging all kinds of damage out of them, which was just worked out as a great distraction to allow them to cap the point.
Yeah, absolutely. Coming into this mid, though, we do see Deft getting a little bit of damage off, but not quite as much as last time. The ground is looking fairly even. Looks like both teams just sort of posturing towards each other, trying to find an opening. We do see Paulson going in for a great big bomb. Both soldiers on the other team coming directly in. Lex cleaning up Enrith. But we do see Riot and Silver cleaning up 2 frags of their own. Riot going down, but then Arnold picks up Paulson. We do see both of the scouts still alive on the side. Oh, 1 scout now. Fane's actually doing some fat damage. He goes down. The force of nature on Cookie there. And now we're looking at both scouts and both meds. They're fighting. The Uber gets used on Lau very early. And they clean up Arnold. He just didn't quite have. What a perfect place to clean up the med here, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely unfortunate for him there. They, you know, off that back of the Fane play, they were trying to get in there and recontest that middle point. But I mean, yeah, that force of nature, honestly, it's a monster. It's a menace.
Yeah, Cookie's been using that for a while now. Like, everyone thought it was like a meme pick, but I think he like means it, man. Like,
it looks like it at this stage. And it sure is working. 5 kill streak at the moment.
Absolutely. We do see quite a lot of damage coming out, and they're going to clean up Deft as well. This is near perfect when you're pushing into last with that. You've cleaned up 4 of their players, almost 5 with Fane on 30 health underneath. Silver's going to clean him up, and then they're going to push straight on it. 3 players still down, 20 seconds spawn on Fane. They have this Uber ad, but they don't quite have it yet. They have cleaned a couple of gamers up. They're playing that point, and yeah, they didn't even need the Uber with all the player ad they had there.
Crisp and clean, I gotta say, just really methodical work. Broke the second hold, pushed the last, very easy for them. Made it look like a cakewalk.
Absolutely. There is someone I know who would describe it as clinical. I hope he's watching.
Hopefully.
Coming into this one though, Enrith really fearing Deft's stickies and giving Deft quite a lot of room to maneuver. Deft hits a pipe on Enrith as well, which has taken him out of the fight for a second. A lot of ground taken. Riot's in very, very deep, getting a big old rocket onto Deft and Arnold. But they do end up managing to flip. Riot's behind again. I'm very confused by what's going on because there's just so much of it. A lot of players dead. Paulson and Riot are onto Arnold, but Arnold's... Nah, he does go down. I was going to say, you might be able to get him with a bow.
Yeah, you know, a little bit more accurate there, and he would be one of the top frags of the server, I'm sure.
He absolutely would. A very good mid out of the fellas there, though, yeah?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, just really crisp. Denied all the bombers that jumped there. Meanwhile, getting some really good focusing on the enemy team's scouts, allowing them to walk in, clean up very easily. Clinically, you'd say.
It's absolutely clinical. It smells like Dettol in here, I tell ya. So we're looking at like about a, 30-odd% advantage. Do you reckon they'll try to take this in almost immediately? It looks like they're taking the room into the lobby.
Yeah, definitely. 90%, and they're already basically at the doorway. They're going to take this in even before they have Uber here. Looking to just get position for this push. And sure enough, they have now, and they're already on point without using it.
Yeah, that's such a crazy push being able to walk so far. They even clean up the med as he tries to flee into spawn. No Uber to save them here. It's all going to be on Rocky, TJ, and Fane. Rocky going down, TJ on 7 health, Fane on 25, TJ going down, and Fane going down. I'm telling you, these guys, wash your hands and you put on your scrubs, bro.
Man, I mean, I'm just seeing this force of nature. That scout hit the skybox after getting shot point blank by the force of nature. I mean, you thought getting popped up by soldiers was bad. Now you're getting popped up by scouts as well.
Can you imagine getting popped up by a scout and then mid-ed? I'd kill myself on the spot. Def getting quite a lot of ground once again. He's getting a little bit of damage off, but nothing to really write home about. We do see a fat bomb. Fane gets in deep, but Riot and Paulson are both in behind, taking quite a lot of attention here. Fane and Lex going down, which is not looking good for the fellas here. They're trying to get out. Death dying as well. This is not looking great. They're trying to get out with both their scouts and their med. We do see Silvo in pretty deep, but so is Cookie. He's onto Arnold, the force of nature, and the roller.
Oh no!
Holy dooly. TJ got a bit of damage onto Lau. I think Lau's going to be able to get away with it more or less for free. The Force of Nature gamer getting one more kill right on the tail end there, cleaning up TJ. Holy shit.
Yeah, this is kind of got to be very painful. I mean, you're getting bumped around all the way by this Force of Nature, shot from your supposed safe spaces into the middle of hell by its knockback, and then cleaned up by a roller. That's just got to be demoralizing.
Yeah, Arnold really got minced. And welcome to all the viewers from the front page. Very nice to meet you. But yeah, looking at this one, I mean, that was such a clean, clinical push, and they're going to do another one here as they bring the Uber straight on through. Massive, massive. They're able to take that truck area before they even have to use it. Once again, only popping by the time they're at the point. It's looking great, but TJ cleaning up Riot is going to create a little bit of room for his team here. It's looking pretty scrappy, not a lot of frags going on. Def going down, though, that's one frag back the other way, and it is Demo Man. It's looking alright. We do see Cookie getting another frag on the left, and TJ cleaning up Paulson. A fat frag for him. Arnold's very, very low, but I think he's going to get away with being this low. Enrith, the only player really left trying to fight, but he goes down. A really good defense.
Yeah, definitely. Especially Arnold surviving there is going to give them a really fat advantage here for retaking the second point and allow them to keep the momentum that they really, really like to have up, pushing onto the middle as well. So, plus with Lau going down there as well, it's a full Uber ad, so they're going to have a lot of time for this one.
Yeah, Enrith does have a trap up on that catwalk, which we'll have to see if they end up losing a couple players to, but I think they're not going to. We do see them come straight through that saw area, but Riot and Paulson are in deep. They end up getting that fourth. A lot of flashes going on, and I think that's going to be it for the fighting of this. Silvo is behind, causing a bit of a ruckus on that second point there. And Rocky ended up dying on the mid. Ooh.
Yeah, that's actually really painful for 5-ping Rockets, because that back cap, especially getting so close and forcing so many players back, allows Soirée just to come right back in with now their own Uber charge without having to give up that middle point. So a really successful defense there.
Yeah, they even kept the forward spawns by maintaining that middle point. It's really working well for them. They've got this huge Uber out, but we do see Lex, TJ, and Rocky all looking like they're trying for it. Lex and TJ going down for it, but the Uber does not get for it. Not a spot they want to be in, and they've decided to save their last couple of players and get straight back into the last. This is dire.
Yeah, very, very unfortunate for them. I mean, they're going to be sweating now, facing right back to this last push again. Now full Uber charge, 3 players down on the side of 5-ping Rocket.
Yeah, there's really not even all that much to say. They just have this huge player. They've cleaned up gamers left, right, and center. They've capped the point. And, you know, the surgery's over, bro. It was clinical.
Keeping it clean in COVID season, you know how they do it.
Absolutely.
Alright, back on to the next mid anyway. Ended again getting there faster, although on lower health than Deft. Good straight across the point though.
Yeah, Deft is still getting quite a lot of room, and he's forcing himself up on that left side under there. Near Kid, a lot of aggression out of the team here, but Emrith cleans up Arnold, which means they have to keep this aggression up, try to clean up Lau, which they have done. So now it's just scrappy fighting, left, right, and center. Rocky ends up going down to Riot, and that's it. A wipe! A wipe! With 2 players left remaining on the other side.
Would you say this wipe is definitely an antibacterial, given the clinical nature of the game so far?
99.9% of germs, mate.
And 99.9% of the enemy team as well, because that's definitely not something you want to see. Going into the mid-fight, 2 rounds down, 17 minutes left, and you get wiped.
Yeah, it's really not exactly what you want to see. Riot kind of went for something there. I think he was trying to find a place in lobby to try to clean up Arnold there. But Lau coming up on crits here as well gives them a little bit of ad, and I think they'll be able to use it.
Yeah, definitely. Having Riot down is going to be a little bit more difficult for them, pushing so soon with this ad, because they want to push it as soon as they hit 100% to try to drop the enemy medic before he gets his own Uber. And yeah, it looks like they're trying to take it in grab.
Yeah, the crits gets used, no frags with it yet. I think Deft knows it's there as well. He's trying to stay away from Sticky. He's doing a good job so far, but I think he's going to die for his effort. The Uber does get used by Arnold. They're chasing them out on that grass area, cleaning up, and there's players dying every friggin' where, but Riot is still behind. He's cleaned up Lex in the last, which has dragged back quite a lot of the gamers here. They are having to sort of fight on both fronts. And Lau, Silvo, and Cookie are all there. Cookie with the force of nature, man. It continuously boggles my mind. But he's doing so much damage, he's forcing them out. And with most of their players now having spawned, they are ready to fight, but they lose Lau. Fane coming in from behind. Really not what they want to see.
Yeah, this is absolutely disastrous for Soirée here. Their medic died as well, so if they don't manage to pick up the medic right here, Riot just missing the rocket, allowing Arnold to get out alive with a 50% Uber charge advantage.
Yeah, and Lex able to clean those last couple of gamers up. Very, very clinical play from Lex there, actually. It was, like, I mean it, that was really good. It was just, like, putting everything where it needed to go.
Yeah, very well put together gamer there. 3k for that defense. Very, very good stuff.
Yeah. But we do see a bit of scrappy fighting going on. It's looking pretty bad for the fellas on Soirée. They do lose Lau again, which is not what they want to see. And the point has been capped back for the side of, what do you call them? 5-ping Rocket.
Yeah.
And now that they're able to push forward, they're able to clean up Riot and Silvo. This is looking really good for them. There's only 3 players up. Lau still hasn't spawned. I mean, it's perfect. They can cap mid for free.
Yeah, 3-player advantage, full Uber advantage. I mean, this is everything they want to try to turn this game around. And with 15 minutes on the clock, they do have plenty of time to turn it around if they succeed in this push here.
Absolutely. We do see Paulson hiding, though. I don't know if they've actually seen him. Lex is peeking down there. Paulson gets 2 big rockets, cleans him straight up, jumps behind to Saw, where the players have dropped out the window onto that grass area. We'll have to see if Paulson's able to get himself in there and onto the med. He does get seen, but the Uber gets forced. Riot jumping in a great big bomb right off bat. That's a Tempest gamer right there, my man.
That's definitely something you don't want to see if you're 5-ping Rockets, having everything set up beautifully for you, losing 2 players before the push, meaning even afterwards, even after you use the Uber, you're in no position to push and just have to pull out to the enemy team's advantage.
Yeah, man. A really, really good push out of that lobby area from Soirée here. Able to turn it back around in their favour, because now they have a 70% Uber advantage. They're able to come through Saw, coming straight through the catwalk area, cleaning up Lex nice and early, absolutely suspending Fane. He goes down as well. Good lord, just call it an expulsion, bro. That wasn't even like a week. That was get out. And they've cleaned up the middle for free.
We thought playing Soldier was hard before the scout buff, and now they've got this Force of Nature as well, man.
It's the best buff since.
Clearly so.
But it's definitely looking really good for Soirée here. They're able to push forward. They still have this Uber ad, which is probably going to get them second without much ado. But I think it's going to be even for the last push. So do you think they're going to hold it?
Doesn't look like it. They already moved right in and used the Uber super aggressively, and did get Fane with as well, so...
Yeah, and they've got an Oodle cycle going on, because it looks like the fellas on 5-ping Rockets are not going to be able to push out with their Uber, which did get 4. We do see Cookie cleaning up Deft and Lex going down to Enra. This is looking really good for Soirée. They have lost quite a few gamers, but Cookie's doing some damage with that Force of Nature still. We do see a Soldier spawning. Fane coming in, trying to get a bit of damage. He cleans up Cookie. He gets a lot of damage onto Enrith, but Lau's on the point. He might be able to cap it on his own. Oh my lord! Enrith has...
Oh my god.
Harry Potters? One Harry Potter, bro.
1 HP sitting on the point, fighting Fane, also on a minuscule amount of health, and he just gets it over him by edging the point, just a little toe on it.
Oh my god! That's wild.
Doesn't get much closer than that, Snazzy.
No, it really does not. But coming into this mid, we do see Deft still getting quite a lot of ground. They seem fearful of his ability, but we see Riot jumping up very hard onto Rocky. Rocky ending up having to back out of that one, getting out of it. And we did see a counter jump from Fane, but Fane had to jump back out as well. Krolic, Rocky able to clean up Riot in the tail end of that happening. And now it's looking pretty good for the 5-ping Rockets fellas. They have that tiny little bit of player. Lex and Paulson trading, I believe. Oh no, I lied. Paulson clicked up Deft and then Lex killed him. It's looking okay still, because Lau going down to Fane with 97% Uber. It's looking really good for the 5-ping Rockets, guys. If they're able to keep their mid up here, they'll be able to recap this mid for free.
Yeah, Fane with the big jump behind, cleaning up Lau's is going to be super good for them, allowing them to have the Uber advantage here. And is going to allow them to hopefully be able to take this middle point very little fuss if they can manage to control their flanks well and prevent people getting behind and not drop to the big trap that's on window.
Yeah, I mean, that trap's been tried twice now, and the Uber actually gets forced straight into mid. I think there was just a bit much pressure. And they have cleaned up 2 players, so it's okay. It's not the worst Uber of all time. But, well, 3 now with Paulson going down on the back end. So, that's okay, but I'm not sure if they needed to use there.
Yeah, definitely that's something that they could have probably pulled off further. Just as we're talking about that, Fane goes down to a trap down in dungeon, which is just going to even the players out and give Uber disadvantage. So they're not really going to be able to push the second point. Yeah, if they hadn't used the Uber there, that would have gone a lot better for them, especially because they could have taken advantage of that really aggressive attempt to force them from Soirée and allowed them to pretty easily clean up the second point, but that's just not going to happen now.
I mean, Snake Mid is definitely something that's kind of hard to push into without using Uber. We do see Enrith come straight on through Saw. No Uber use. There is a bit of a jump out of Fane and Lex here, but I don't think either of them's really going to be able to make too much happen. We did see Riot go down, TJ getting in very deep and managing to get him. But they've kept this Uber. They've got a little bit of a player out. I mean, that's about as ideal as you can get.
Pretty much. I mean, as we go into it, you already have 3 rounds up for Soirée. You're going to be looking at the situation pretty favourably, regardless of Uber charges in general, because, hell, if it turns into a stalemate, it still benefits you. But I don't think that either team here is really looking to stalemate anything out. These guys are really playing aggressively, and they're really enjoying that really DM-heavy play style, and so it looks like they're still going to be looking to get any advantage they can out of this.
Yeah, I mean, you can't get between a man and his paper, and these guys are definitely trying to get that bread, you know what I mean?
Looking like a bakery at the moment, Snazzy.
I can't believe I just said that shit. We do see a bit of a reset, a bit of an abortive attempt at a push, but lost Riot pretty early in the piece. And Paulson going down as well might trigger the push out of the 5-ping Rockets, fellas.
Yeah, 2-player advantage is the one that you want to see here with Uber. I mean, they can exchange Uber right here and Saw and have a favourable exchange out of it. And, well, getting another player as well, Cookie going down.
Yeah, a very, very near drop for Lau. Lex getting 2 fat rockets onto him. Lau is down to 15 health, I believe. We do see the push come out. They do lose their Demo Man Silvo there to clean him up. They have kept their Uber, and when they get these spawns, I think they're going to be pretty keen on just pushing straight into the last. They have taken their time capping that point, but they have got no real forward spawns to speak of.
Yeah, definitely. Sorry, there's just a lot of banging outside my place. I'm assuming a lot of fireworks are going off since I don't live in America. But at the moment here, we've got a lot of players going down for 5-ping Rockets. Despite the fact that they have the Uber advantage, they're now forced to use that just to get out and try to save the medic's life, which it doesn't look like they'll be able to since they're being swarmed by the enemy team.
Yeah, it's definitely looking really, really good for Soirée. They actually got a bit of a wipe going there, man.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be looking disastrous for 5-ping Rockets. You've been in this situation time and time again. You're now 3 rounds down, 8 minutes left, Uber disadvantage, player disadvantage. It's not looking good.
Yeah, it's looking really, really bad, even I would go as far as to say. And losing Fane and Lex as they tried to sack in there, especially awful. Now, with a 4-player disat, well, 3 technically, player disat, and the Uber getting forced in that lower area, it's looking awful. I don't think there's any way they can defend it, and they really cannot.
Players sitting in spawn, making sure there's no deaths are added to the logs is another just clinical push out of Soirée.
Yeah, it's definitely a very, you know, they got the bachelors of surgery, you know, they did their tenure in some hospital.
I really hope my surgeon doesn't just have a bachelor's.
I don't know what I'm talking about, man. Coming into it though, Deft actually taking a bit less ground here, but he is getting aggressive now a little bit later into the mid, and getting a frag onto Silva with the pipes. Riot cleaning up Rocky, but I don't think it's going to make a huge difference because Lex and Fane were in so deep, doing so much damage and splitting the team up left, right, and center. Lex still alive. He's actually jumping. I think he's trying to clean up Lau, but he has actually given up on that one because Lau has managed to get away.
5-ping Rockets still living up to their name of having very powerful soldiers here, not able to pick up the slippery Lau, but still able to crush that mid-fight and go into second with even Ubers.
Yeah. Arnold does have a tiny, tiny little Uber ad, but I don't think it's going to make any difference. I think it's going to be an even Ubers fight here. They do lose TJ, though, which is a bad thing right on the eve of an even Uber fight. Lex down really, really low as well. He has to go back for a pack. He managed to get that, but they have got Silvo behind. The Ubers both go to their respective players. It does look like Arnold's happened a little bit earlier because it faded a little earlier. Def going down. Arnold's caught behind. I don't know if Riot was looking for it. Riot was really looking.
An incredible play.
It's looking really bad. 5-ping Rockets losing pretty much all of their players. I think Riot was trying to back up. Sorry, Arnold was trying to
I think he tried to hide behind the box of tobacco or something. Got caught up by Riot's skill stick though. He knew he was sitting there.
Holy dilly. What a champion, man. Holy
Powerful
dilly.
gamer.
But the fellas on Soirée here have a huge play around and a huge Uber ad, and I think they're going to clean up the med, and they have, and they're gonna cap the second. It's just fantastic for them.
You alright?
I don't know, I started talking like that and I couldn't stop.
Alright, yeah, and now again, full Uber ad, 5-player ad, going into last, full white. I mean, this is just going to be another crisp, clean, clinical last push.
Yeah, man, I have seen surgeries that were botched much harder than this one. And the Ubers come out, they've cleaned up Def, they've cleaned up Fane. They only have to clean up one other player, TJ, who's fighting. Lex is going to jump from the spawn. They're actually delaying the cap here. opting instead to clean up Lex. Lau getting that frag, and it looks like they're capping it now. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. 6-1. That's the 5-round win difference, meaning that Soirée takes this round and gets themselves a little bit closer to the larger portion of that prize money.
Yeah, I mean, you could call that a little bit of BM at the end there, looking to pad the stats a little bit more, getting a couple more frags on the log before finally tightening the noose and ending it for 5-ping Rockets. And what a game that was.
Yeah, man, that was actually really a back and forth game. Like, despite how the scoreline went, like, and the mids were sort of very indicative of like how each team was playing, with Def playing like far more aggressively. It looked like the soldiers on the side of Soirée were just able to do so much to sort of like split players up and create those localized player ads that you can use to fight.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm talking garbage, let's be real.
Well, it looks like nothing's changed then. If we can go look at the logs here, absolutely crushing performance from Enrith there. 415 DPM, 31 frags, only 10 deaths.
That's,
doing a lot of work for his team for sure.
That's gross. That is gross. No one should get away with that much.
Definitely not keeping with the rather sterilized nature of the game so far. That is actually sick.
Yeah, that's really wild. He should probably see a doctor. Equally sick, though, is Cookie coming through with 37 frags. 37 for 11 with 18 assists, which is a huge 5.0 kill assist death ratio, that's gross as well. He should wash up after that one, I think.
Definitely. Clearly the game was not as clinically prepared as we previously assumed it was. Riot as well coming in third, getting 23 frags, 312 DPM. Pretty impressive on the logs, but definitely in-game we saw him do so much work just in a lot of the cases. But even though Paulson got, down at the bottom, 181 DPM, 13 frags, he did go behind quite a lot and just managed to mess things up for 5-ping Rockets any way he could. Definitely the playmaker.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's not really all that much to look at with these logs. It's just, you can see that one team was absolutely dumping on the other. Those sorts of frag counts are, like, worrying to see. Like, if I was on 5-ping Rockets here, I'd be, maybe not upset, but, like, I'd be going, okay, what did we do wrong? How can we change this for our next game? I mean, this is a round-robin format type, if that, words are difficult, man. But, they'll be playing a different team next. And hopefully they're able to take the lessons from this and convert that into a win in their next match.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, Riot had as many air shots as the entire of their team combined. So, just nothing much they could have done against that, to be honest. We can call it a write-off for this one. Hopefully next time, Fane will hit a little bit more big middies for the stream, and that's going to win his team the victory.